Welcome to this week's edition of Friday Night Fever. I'm Jim Holder. He is Andy Lee. Thank you so much for joining us. Where does the time go? Week number 11.
Yes.
And, we had the rain last night, had a few games last night, but certainly the field conditions, everything played a part in some of the games tonight, Mr. Lee.
Yes, it did. I was at some muddy tracks. I'm sure you were as well. And most of our 2A, 3A, 4A playoff spots locked up, but still some seeds to be won tonight on the field.
Exactly. And, of course, some teams, the season will end tonight. Some teams are starting playoffs tonight in the private schools. We'll talk about that later. Scores on our ticker, as always, at WTVA.com as well. We begin with our busy lad game of the week, and this was a muddy field, Pontotoc at Shannon. And, of course, Cameron Billups of Shannon would have been a senior. And there you see they honored him. He was number 52, of course. And this was a muddy track. Pontotoc's Justin Carter running the ball, and Gabe Harbing was over his head. A couple of bad snaps there, loss of 10 yards. And then watch what happens here. That's going to result in a safety, and it's 2-0 Red Raiders. Jordan Gilliland handing off to Stanka White, met by White Stanford for a 4-yard loss. And, of course, it rained there earlier as well today, so it wasn't just last night, it was today as well. Here's Gilliland dropping back, looking for Eric Jones, but Monty Townsend going to pick this one off. Pontotoc cheerleaders liking that play. And then Carter for Pontotoc, looking for Stanford for a 10-yard completion. In the end of this one, we expected an offensive shootout instead of a defensive classic. Shannon wins it 14-0. Shannon winning Division II 4A.
All right, 1 4A, New Albany hosting Ripley. Old Highway 15 rivals, and these first three plays are the most exciting plays I've ever seen without any scoring. I'll show you what I mean. This is the first play from scrimmage. Loden Bolin hits Zach Ball, big-time yards after the catch, deep into Ripley territory, brought down just shy of the 30-yard line. And there's our own Bill Hughes working the PA system at New Albany, doing it by candlelight, I believe. Okay, this is the second play from scrimmage. Loden Bolin's got a big arm. He shows it off, has a receiver, but there's a fight for the ball in the end zone, and Ripley's Centavious Hunt comes down with it, so Ripley gets the ball. So what would Ripley do on its first play from scrimmage? Double reverse back to the quarterback, who flings one to Trey Blanchard. Big gain into New Albany territory, but neither team would score on their opening drive. So three exciting plays, no scores. New Albany wins this one 20-13.
And New Albany, I believe, is going to go to Noxubee County for the playoffs next week. All right, Horn Lake at Tupelo.
Come on. What's up? Friday Night Fever! Tupelo, Horn Lake. We got you, baby.
All right, we got you. All right, here we go. And it was 7-7 in the second quarter. Horn Lake driving. Rodarius Jones to Octavius Williams. That is going to go for a first down. Ole Miss head coach Matt Luke among those watching this one. Of course, his Rebels are off tomorrow. And then Horn Lake finishes off the drive. Jacavian Brown here with this touchdown, and that made it 14-7 Eagles. So Trent Hammond and company want to try and dial up a big play on the next drive, and they do. Stephon McGlon back in there at quarterback. Of course, came back last week. Looking for Peyton Pickett. He will find him. Look at him wide open. Big game. Look at him go, Andy. Look at him go. No, and he falls down. But down to the 17-yard line. Could have been 6, though. Tupelo has to settle for a Reed Hill field goal. Cut it to 14-10. Horn Lake will get a touchdown right before the half to lead 21-10 at halftime. And Horn Lake is going to go on to win in this one by the final score of 35-10. Tupelo likely going on the road for the playoffs.
Andy Crotwell and North Pontotoc closing out the regular season at home against Mantachie. Coach Crotwell had reason to be all smiles. Vikings up 28-0 early in the second quarter. TJ Polk's 27-yard touchdown makes it 35-0 North Pontotoc. Ensuing Mantachie possession. Reed Allred's pass is tipped and intercepted by Hunter Miles. So North Pontotoc back with the ball. TJ Polk gets the ball. Big first down run for TJ Polk. And then one play later, Bo Howell in for Corley Hooper, scores on a 16-yard touchdown run. All North Pontotoc in this one. Vikings win 42-6.
Vikings finish second in their division. Boonville wins that division with their win over Belmont tonight. All right, Thrasher at Okolona. And it was senior night at Okolona. Of course, if you were playing at home tonight, you probably had senior nights. First drive for the Chieftains. First play, here's Deontay Hampton. A big carry, and that is going to go for a first down. And the band plays on. Second play of the drive, Jacorius Stanfield, watch him, Andy, going one way. It says,
cut back.
Cut back.
Saquon Barkley.
Yes. looking like it there. Touchdown, 7-0 Okolona after the extra point. All right, Thrasher got a pretty good kick return on their first drive. They face fourth down near midfield. They're going to go for it. Ethan Cummings finding Daquan Johnson. It's an interception for Okolona. Of course, the coaches are saying if you've just broken it up, it would have taken over. But regardless, Okolona getting the win tonight on senior night by the final of 50-6.
Lamar Harvey now 2-0 against his old team. He was at Thrasher for a long time. This is Aberdeen at South Pontotoc. Cougars and Bulldogs could clinch playoff spots with wins. Opening kickoff of the second half. It's an onside kick. South Pontotoc recovers. Shades of Sean Payton there with Michael Bradley's play call, gutsy play call. And the Cougars cash in on the onside kick. Matthew Brown to Will Allen from 22 yards out. That makes it 36-24 Cougars early in the third quarter. Aberdeen trying to respond. This is Brandon Williams bouncing it outside and picking up big yardage. First down yardage for the Bulldogs. And Aberdeen keeps this drive rolling. It's Jonathan Moore with a first down run into South Pontotoc territory. But this drive stalls for the Bulldogs. It's South Pontotoc wins 58-38.
Big win for the Cougars tonight. All right, Ashland at TCPS was senior night at Tupelo Christian Prep. And here we go, Eagles up 36-0 at halftime. Third quarter, Kai Holliday to Foster Yates. This is going to go for a first down. We're going to talk more about Holliday and Yates in just a second. As Yates, is he finally going to be brought down? Yes, he is, inside the 30. And the Eagles continuing to move the ball. Cody Coggins, he has had a nice season. And he carries for a first down deep in Blue Devil territory. Then, next play, Kai Holliday looking for Foster Yates. He will find them. And on this play, makes it 43-0. Kai Holliday breaks the school record for touchdown passes in a season. Foster Yates goes over 1,000 yards receiving for the year. And they congratulate each other after the play. And everybody can congratulate each other at TCPS tonight because they win 50-0. They are playoff bound.
All right, big one in Eupora. Senior night, the Maroon Mafia was rocking as Eupora hosted Calhoun City for the 2-2-8 title. Early in the first, Eagles get a big play when Edwin Herrard connects with Jalen Potts for a first down. Some good stuff there. Then a few plays later, Trey McComb gets the handoff, makes some Wildcats miss, and picks up a first down. Now still scoreless. Calhoun City with the ball. Chardarius Hill keeps it himself, gets outside, and runs for a first down. Points at a premium in this one, a real defensive struggle. The Eagles get the ball back. Herrard, another big gain for Eupora. All these big gains, but still no points to be had. The penalties push the Eagles back, and Herrard throws one up. It gets intercepted by Hill to end the first half. But Calhoun City would edge Eupora 10-9.
Chardarius Hill making so many plays this year for Calhoun City. He's been
all three phases of the ball.
All over the field is he. By the way, of course, that gives the Wildcats the division title. If Eupora had won, there'd been a little chaos there. But Calhoun City, of course, all those teams in that division headed to the playoffs.
Yep, 4-team division.
Next week, so that's how that goes. Hey, we have an Instagram contest every week. It's for Band and Cheerleaders of the Week. This seems to happen quite a bit. Shannon, of course, won our game of the week, 14-0.
So that means Pontotoc.
Yes.
Band and cheer, though.
And that's how they won. That's how it turned out. Pontotoc wins our band and cheer. We will hear from the Warrior Band in just a second. In fact, encore performance. They were the Band and Cheerleaders of the Week in week 1.
That's right.
But right now, the Pontotoc Cheerleaders take us to the break.
We are the Pontotoc Warrior Cheerleaders, and you're watching Friday Night Fever. Let's go Warriors! P-O-N-P-O-N-T-S-T-S-T Pontotoc. Warriors. P-O-P-O-N-P-O-N-T-S-T-S-T Pontotoc. Warriors. P-O-P-O-N-P-O-N-T-S-T-S-T Pontotoc.
Encore performance. Had been week 1, now in week 11, our Band of the Week from Pontotoc High School.
Bookending the regular season.
Exactly. How about that? I did not even think about that. Welcome back to Friday Night Fever. Andy Lee, Jim Holder. Scores on our ticker. We're going to continue with those as well. Let's continue with highlights, shall we, Andy?
Let's do this thing.
Houston at Nettleton. Of course, they were a team that had already clinched their division last week, and they were rolling against Nettleton, as you see, up 26-0. And here's Graham Gardner of Nettleton rushing out of the pocket. Fumble. It's going to be picked up by Alan Robertson for a 3-yard touchdown. And Houston fans loving that. It's 32-0 Toppers. Gardner trying to bring his team back. Of course, Nettleton still in the playoff hunt coming into tonight. He winds up calling his own number here to Graham Gardner, an 8-yard run, but the Tigers would be forced to punt. And Houston, Gage Harrington, giving it to LaJarvis Juice Ewing. And the juice
is loose.
Loose for a 10-yard gain. Hilltopper fans like that. And Jalen May, watch him here. Fake the give to Bobby Townsend, keeps it. That's what Jalen May does. 25-yard touchdown, nice moves. And Houston rolls in this one by the final score of 46-13.
We stay in 4-3A, Hatley at Choctaw County. Or excuse me, Choctaw County at Hatley. Hatley with a chance to make the playoffs. Choctaw County had already clinched. Tigers going for a 45-yard field goal. It is blocked and recovered by Hatley. And the Hatley cheerleaders, they like that. Next play, Hatley quarterback Micah Turner pitches to Nick Washington, and he gets nowhere, stopped by Israel Whitmore. Now a few plays later, Chargers with the ball. Quarterback Tylen Carter hands it off to Rakeem Ashford, and he is stopped by Hayden Parker. And a host of Tigers at Choctaw County defense and Hatley defense, both good, but Choctaw County is too strong tonight. They win 36-7.
All right, Olive Branch at Lafayette County and senior night at Lafayette County, and second place in the division behind West Point on the line here, but Olive Branch taking control in the early going. Here's Javian Adams, and he's going to return this 52 yards into Lafayette territory. That's on the kickoff. Along with bruising runs, Dakota Braswell carrying several Commodores towards first down. Then Gary Banks the second, as opposed to Gary Banks the first. Gary Banks the second breaks a couple of tackles. The Conquistadors in business. Have to settle for a field goal, though. It was 3-0. Game shifting a little momentum. Randy Anderson to Brandon Turnage. Short bubble route. Turnage making a couple of defenders miss, and there he goes by himself. 76-yard touchdown. Commodores up 7-3 after one, but in the end, Olive Branch will come back to win 24-21.
Gary Banks the second. This is a big one in 6A, 2-6A. Starkville hosting Warren Central. That Yellow Jacket defense swarming, sacking the Vikings quarterback. Now Starkville with the ball. Quarterback rolls the pocket and goes the other way, but intercepted by Warren Central's KVS McDaniel with a nice return deep into Starkville territory. And Warren Central would cash in on the turnover. The quarterback runs it in from 2 yards out. PAT is good. 7-0 Warren Central at that point, but Starkville wins this one 38-17.
All right, Yellow Jackets still rolling as they have.
Only that one loss this year.
That one loss, so we'll see how that affects them in the postseason. Hey, time for our social media center. Always one of our favorite segments of the week. WTVA's Daniela Oropeza takes a look at what's happening on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, those sorts of things. What's going on, Daniela?
Thanks, guys. Week 11 came and went, and we have a packed social media center. And like last week, we begin with our little fans. Our videographer, Alvin Ivy, getting our night started with a picture of these Red Raider fans and Shannon. Aren't they precious? Smiling big for their big win against Pontotoc in our game of the week. And from our little fans to our #1 fans, these mothers of Shannon football players were proud to have their sons represented on senior night. A lot of social media from Shannon tonight. This is Kaya Ruth, featured once again. She was also represented on senior night and representing Cameron Billups on senior night. His wonderful mother, Billups, died over a year ago in a car wreck. A few counties south in West Point, Kentavious McMillan was joined by his parents and little sister for senior night as well. A busy night for us on Facebook. Check out these pictures. Kiana Chandler sent us several photos and smiles from ear to ear in all of them as the Chieftains took a 50-6 lead over Thrasher. And there were so many pictures that we made 2 slots for Kiana. Thank you so much for the love on social media. Also showing us some love is Michael, who was at the Itawamba AHS versus Caledonia game. What a goofy 2. And never missing a Friday, Blake McMullen tagging us on Twitter saying, tough finish, great game. Calhoun edges out Eupora 10-9. What a close game. Well, it's not Friday Night Fever without the fans, especially fans like these girls from our game of the week, the Pontotoc cheer squad on the left and the Shannon cheer squad on the right. And it really can't be done without loyal fans like these, never missing a Friday. Also, Miss Precious Pratt and these Calhoun City Wildcat fans cheering on their guys in the last regular season game. And on the left, these Houston Hilltopper fans in Nettleton witnessing an undefeated season in their district. And on the right, a good-looking group of Pontotoc Warrior fans, and that was a lot. I think that was our busiest week yet, but keep them coming. We'll see you next time for Week 12.
All right, Danielle, I think that was our busiest week yet.
Oh, easily, but I was waiting for Precious Pratt, and sure enough, I knew she was going to be in there. I mean,
we were overhearing that, though, earlier to give it away. We were overhearing them talking about that earlier there in the newsroom. You know, we talked about, of course, Friday Night Fever, Jim and Andy, and our scores on our ticker. Before we get to our next highlight, I want to talk about, we've talked about division champions, so many division championships up on the line tonight, but lots of playoff spots were on the line as well. And that was certainly the case in one of our divisions there in 4A. It was Amory and Moorville, and these teams both looking to make the playoffs, capture a playoff bid, and here we go. Amory was down 14-0 in the second quarter. Hunter Jones handing off to Casey Ivy, and just like that, Amory has cut it to 14-7. Moorville with the ball at midfield now. Dawson Phillips handing off to Donovan Caldwell. It's coming into our living room, I'm told. Maybe not our living room, but perhaps your living room. There he is. First down inside the 20, almost took the ref out there. This drive would stall. Amory, though, getting a field goal later on to cut it to 14-10 at the half. In the end, Amory getting the win. Panthers victorious, 41-21.
Alan Glenn and the Panthers clinch a playoff berth. Caledonia looking to upset Itawamba AHS and get a playoff berth, but the Indians had other ideas. That's a field goal block by Itawamba AHS's Channing Cagle. And Coach Clint Hoots and the Indians keep it rolling. Jackson Orr hands off to Ike Chandler, 15 yards for the touchdown. PAT is good, and Itawamba AHS eliminates Caledonia with a 48-34 win.
Indians a very good team. They'll be a third seed there in the playoffs. All right, Saltillo at West Point. Speaking of good teams, Green Wave up 28-0 on the Tigers. It's the start of the third quarter. And here's Saltillo trying to get something done, but there's a turnover on that play, a lateral, and gets it back. And they go to work. Jake Chambliss, short pass to Dontarius Cannon, and that's going to be a nice gain for the Green Wave. And then West Point trying it again. Rico Bailey, just short of the goal line. And then why not try Rico Bailey for the score? 34-0 Green Wave at that point. West Point, Green Wave rolling, 41-7.
Thank you, Eduardo.
Yes, that's what they call me.
The MAIS playoffs underway. Starkville Academy hosting Cathedral. You can see the Vols with a 13-0 first quarter lead, and that's a tough run there for Starkville Academy. And then gets the ball again. Yards hard to come by on this drive, but Garrett Lewis looking to pass that one incomplete. Cathedral with the ball. Tyreek Lee bounces it outside, cuts back in, and picks up a first down. Cathedral now going for a big pass play, and they would just miss. In the end, looks like Starkville Academy advances in the MAIS playoffs with a 40-6 victory.
Big win for the Vols. All right, let's go back in time, Andy, to a simpler time. How about Thursday night?
Yes.
It was raining then, too. Alcorn Central at Kossuth. Aggies were up 7-0 early in the second quarter and driving. Kossuth quarterback Matthew Bobo. Is he going to throw? No, he's going to run. 15 yards up the hill, and it's a first down. A couple plays later, Kenner Mills. Nice shooting by Andy Lee, by the way. Kenner Mills hurdling a defender. Runs for another Aggie first down. This was for a playoff bid, by the way. Mills would eventually run it in for a Kossuth touchdown, and the Aggies do win this one 40-8, and Kossuth does indeed clinch a playoff berth with that win.
Also from last night, Strayhorn at East Union. The Urchins won its division last week. Second half, Urchins on defense. Zed, who's Zed?
Yeah.
Zed gets crushed by a host of Urchins. East Union gets the ball up 24-16. Watch Joel Wilkinson. Been making these kind of plays for East Union his whole career. Gets the screen pass from Ty Walton and just does the rest. Hard running, lowers the shoulder, lowers the boom, and that's a big first down. Yeah, I know. Just hurts me thinking about it. Big night for Wilkinson. 229 yards and a pick 6. DeJuan Hubbard gets a first down here. The Urchins wouldn't score on this possession, but East Union dominates Strayhorn 49-16. What a season for Kevin Walton's club. They're in the playoffs. Division champs.
Division champs, undefeated in their division. Speaking of divisions, we mentioned some of those. Corinth and Senatobia came down to the wire. Senatobia won that game 39-38, so they win that division. I mentioned Boonville earlier. Mike Maddox back on the sideline, by the way. Blue Devils stay undefeated, and they're rolling into the playoffs. Their win tonight over Belmont and plenty of others. You saw
I want to mention North Panola defeats Water Valley to win the 2-3A title.
And Water Valley, that's just their second loss of the year. It shows you how good North Panola is, ranked number 1 in Class 3A. All right, that's going to do it for Friday Night Fever. Friday Night Fever on Fox is going to begin, well, I usually say soon on WLV. It'll end once the World Series ends.
It'll be a while.
Speaking of exciting, that's going right now, so we'll see you a little bit later on. For Andy Lee and our entire staff, I'm Jim Holder. Have a great night and a great weekend. Take care.